I don't like much of the present talk on leadership for a simple reason. You know, I've lived in most of this century. This century has seen the most charismatic leaders in history, other than Genghis Khan. Their names were Stalin and Hitler and Mao, and no three people in history have done more damage. So I have my grave doubts about charismatic leadership. What matters is not leadership, but leadership to what purpose? And secondly, I have worked, you know, with organizations, businesses, governments, military, churches. I've seen a lot of leaders. No two are similar. No, there are no. The only definition of a leader is somebody who has followers. And I've seen the worst kind, the people who are totally in control of the organization, and the day they leave, the organization collapses. There's nothing there. They're simply hollowed out. That's the worst thing anybody in charge of an organization can do. That not to build the succession, but to basically drain the human energy so that there's nobody there when he or she leaves. With all his enormous qualities, that's what Franklin Roosevelt, you know, the American Democratic Party has not yet recovered from the fact that Roosevelt simply did not allow anybody else to have any power, any public. To this day, all the people with potential were killed off in the Democratic Party by that incredibly powerful Roosevelt figure. I don't think he did it even consciously. It was just too powerful. But he made every decision. Everybody else were just underlings. And nothing was left when he went. At the meeting this morning, almost every speaker from Taiwan and from Hong Kong and from Singapore and from Malaysia and from Indonesia stressed the need to enable the family company to be managed. The rules are very simple. The first rule is it is cheaper to pay a lazy or incompetent nephew not to come to work than to have him come to work. That's a very important rule. The second one is you need non-family professionals and they must be treated as equals or you don't keep them. I don't think you have learned those rules yet. The Americans learned them the last 40 years. When I first knew American business in the 90s, let's say after World War II, and America has just as many family companies as you have. They didn't know it either. The Germans are just beginning to learn it, and we have to learn it. But I'm equally convinced that 15 years from now, there'll be a lot of books on the secrets of Chinese management. Yeah, no, just as there are lots of books 10 years ago on the secrets of Japanese management. Because what to do, that's the same regardless of the culture. How you do it, that has to fit your culture. And I think that, we're talking of Japanese management, which is a modern business, thoroughly modern, and yet very distinctly Japanese. If you've ever been inside a Japanese company, there's no mistaking it. It's a Japanese company. I have a suspicion that what the Japanese have done is to make the modern corporation into a family. What you are going to do in China is to make the family into a modern corporation. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm serious. I'm not joking. Because I think that the way you can mobilize family, that mobility you have in mobilizing family, which is unique, which nobody else has, on the one hand, because this person is family, you can trust him or her. But on the other hand, if he or she is not quite competent, you can also forget him or her. You have an incredible ability to use family. And largely because it was the only way. Don't forget that Confucian bureaucracy of Imperial China was a terrible burden. In order to survive, ordinary people had to mobilize all their relationships, all their guanxi. And that's family. And I think you're going to build the modern corporation